because the provincial government has also made a explanation about this document, and I have noticed that some of the government agencies have convened some meetings about this, and this work opinion is very important. Since the 18th National Congress of the CPC, the central government with President Xi Jinping at its core attaches great importance to improving the business environment of the country. And the fourth plenary session of the 19th National Congress of the CPC made it a target for China to improve the business environment and also to further improve the governance capacity. And this work opinion is one very important step on this direction. And the work opinion is released at the best time, and it will enable us to further improve the business environment and also help us to achieve the targets of stabilizing 6 major indicators. And this will also lay a good foundation for us to dramatically recover our economy. And also, at the Politburo meeting of April the 29th, similar objectives were laid out, and within half a month, a similar work opinion was released at the Hubei Provincial level. And this shows that we have been following through the guidelines made by the central government, and the work opinion highlights on a results-oriented principle. After collecting opinions from many different stakeholders, we have come up with a final version of the document, and we focus on the targets and objectives. At a time of market-oriented operation, the Hubei provincial government take into consideration the realities of the province, and we have put forward the target of transforming Hubei into a efficient, lively, dynamic economy with sound business environment. And this is the general targets of the province in improving business environment. And the feedback from the market will be valued, and we put market in the center in distributing resources. We allow the market to comment on government services, on the development environments of the province, and all the agencies of the government, including all the civil servants. And they will be the servants of the people and of the market. And this is the overarching requirements of this work opinion. And we try to build a sound legal framework, government service framework, as well as business environment for the enterprises. We're going to focus on the pain points of enterprises, and we're going to screen all the policies of the government so that we can double check that we are following through the requirements of the central government, and we are also benchmarking with the highest standards of the country, and also covering all the potential problems that we face in many different enterprises. And we have also finalized a question list containing 100 problems, and this will help us to improve dramatically the business environment in the province. And in the next step, we are going to follow through the requirements of provincial leaders in 4 areas. Number 1, make plans to execute the work opinions, and the provincial authority has to work out a plan to execute all those relevant measures. And number two, we are going to complete a performance assessment mechanism at the county level. And we are going to complete the performance assessments at the municipal level so that we know what is going on at the county and municipal level. And we are also going to do a good job in awareness campaign. We call on all the stakeholders of the society to be part of this process so that we can improve the satisfaction of the public, so that everybody can get engaged in building a good business environment. Number four, improve the policy innovation for better business environment. We're going to benchmark with the highest standard, the highest level of provinces in China. We are going to bring in advanced experiences from other provinces so that we can dramatically and constantly improve our policy. And whenever we have a good policy, we're going to spread the policy in practice and scale up the practice in a province. And in general, we are going to combine our targets with our practice. We're going to leverage on our spirits, and we will never stop unless we achieve our targets. And we sincerely welcome all the entrepreneurs and the general public and our friends from the media to follow our efforts and also to supervise our efforts. Now the floor is open for questions, and before you ask questions, please introduce yourself. I'm with Voice of Hubei, and to my knowledge, the registration of immovable property can be handled within 5 days. And my question is, are there other additional policies in these aspects? Thank you. Thank you very much for your question. Since last year, the Provincial Department of Natural Resources have introduced the new policies and methods, and we have dramatically improved the efficiency, and 105 registration centers are able to handle mortgage registration and real estate property registration. And in the future, we're going to focus on the following 4 areas. Number one, in terms of quality of service, we're going to further refine the process so that the application handling and the certificate claiming can be summarized into can be simplified into 2 processes. And for small and macro enterprises, wherever there is an application, the application will be handled immediately. And in supporting enterprises reopening, we are going to open a green channel, and we will have a quick access, and we also offer doorstep services and also mailing services so that the enterprises can obtain fund and loan support from the banks, and the mortgage registration service can be extended also to banking outlets. So in banks, at the outlets of banks, those enterprises can register their mortgage so that the service threshold can be lowered, and the mortgage registration process can be simplified, and the time can be shortened dramatically on a basis of 5 days. And for this year, it will be further shortened to 3 days. In terms of promoting internet-based registration during the epidemic, the internet-supported registration played a very important role. For example, the Jieyang Municipal Registration Center was able to provide online registration service for the general public as well as enterprises, and it has issued a total of more than 2,600 certificates of properties. And in the next step, we're going to spread this practice to other localities in the province. We're going to leverage internet, big data, face recognition, and online payments so that we can build a landscape that covers offline review and online application so that all the enterprises, they don't need to go out of their doors to handle their business. And the business environment of the province can be directly felt by the public as well as the enterprises. And we're going to benchmark our performance with the best available out there on the market. And we're going to focus on this result-oriented assessment principle. And we dare to innovate ourselves, and we have to resolve to constantly improve our business environment so that we can deliver more convenience to the people. I'm with China Daily. Hubei Provincial Government and Provincial CPC Committee have introduced the work opinions on improving business environments. And my question is, what is the reopening of enterprises going at present? Thank you very much. In recent years, the provincial government of Hubei has constantly simplified relevant processes and also for setup of enterprises. And prior to the reform, and it was 28 days, and after the reform, it was 5 days, and in 2019, it was shortened to 3 days. In order to dramatically improve the business environment, we have put forward the 210 targets, and so there is only 2 steps, and all the steps can be handled within 1 day, and there will be no zero delay, and this is what we call 210. And we're going to further simplify the processes, and we're going to quickly review the materials submitted, and by expanding more offline service windows and leveraging the channels online, so all the applications can be handled either offline or online. And the Market Supervision Authority is in charge of online registration, and the agency will simplify its process. And in the meantime, we're going to help those enterprises to improve their efficiency so that the time for setting up a company can be reduced to 1 day. And number 3, we're going to strengthen the coordination between different agencies, and in so doing, we are going to bring true convenience to those entrepreneurs who start up their business. I'm with Hubei Daily. For the reform of approval for engineering projects, the reform has been going on for 1 year, and what is the progress? And have we already reached the target of 100 days? Thank you. Thank you very much for your question. And since last year, the Provincial Urban and Housing Bureau launched a 100-day campaign in association with other departments. Through the coordination between different departments, we have been making important progress with this campaign, and the result can be reflected in the following 4 areas. Number 1, we have simplified the approval process. For engineering projects, the approval process includes land approval, construction approval, and verification approval. For each stage, there will be 1 approver, so you don't have too many agencies doing the same job. The number of items subject to approval has been reduced to 75. And for some of the other procedures, we have further simplified many different processes, and in the meantime, we have come up with some supportive measures. And for example, we have joint review of the mapping and joint approval of the project. We also strengthen the coordination between different approving agencies and bodies so that there is shared and joint verification of the results. We also improved some of the systems at some localities. A approval mechanism is put in place so that since the program is initiated, it will be able to support online assessments and online monitoring and supervision. As of present, the province has more than 5,960 programs. All of these programs are under online review and approval. Number 3, we have unified the approval process. For some of the localities and municipalities, many different procedures have been summarized or condensed into one procedure. At the public service hall, at the municipal level, we have a comprehensive window which can provide such services like consulting and approval. So we also worked out a business handling guideline. On the guiding book, you can refer to the different processes. We also unified the regulatory format, focusing on public supervision and relying on the supervision that is based on the credit standing of enterprises. Some of the municipalities have built a red list and also a white list, and this has enabled the punishment on those who lose their credit. And through all those reform measures, the province has basically achieved a simplified process covering many different stages. And for engineering projects, the overall approval takes no longer than 100 days. I'm with Hubei Broadcasting Center, and as is introduced that for engineering projects, it will take no longer than 100 days for approval. And do you have any subsequent measures to further refine this process? Thank you very much for your question. This is exactly one of the key tasks of our job this year. We are going to summarize the previous experience, on a basis of which we're going to take more targeted and more customized measures to further improve the process related to the regulation and approval and supervision of engineering projects. We're going to condense further measures, and 2 districts and 2 pilot districts and 1 city, we're going to achieve some more robust goals. Between the application of the project to the approval, the overall time can be reduced to 80 working days. And for some ordinary social programs, the approval takes no more than 60 days. For social investment programs and smart social programs, the approval time can be reduced to within 40 days. In the meantime, we are going to support a lot of the localities to take reference of those practices so that they can further improve their business environment. Next question, please. What is the plan in our province so as to spread the benefit of reform to more market entities? Thank you very much for your question. And the target of separating administration with licenses is to further improve the efficiency of business approval here in the province. In 2018, the first batch of such pilots was practiced with very good results, and in the end of 2019, the province initiated another batch of pilot programs involving a total of 534 items. All the approval mandates, including at the national level and also the provincial level, were included in the second batch of pilots. At present, at the free trade zones, specifically, there are 3 districts. The policy has been piloted, and right now the pilot program is well underway. By the end of this year, we are going to spread this practice across the province, which is the separation between licenses and approvals. For the next step, we're going to further refine our reform measures. We're going to work together with the General Office of the provincial governments and also the FTZ zones, FTZ districts of the province. We're going to work out a timeline and also a roadmap. Those approval processes that can be removed will definitely be removed, and those that can be simplified will definitely be simplified, and the burdens of the enterprises will be further reduced. And secondly, we're going to expand the coverage of reform, and we're going to first pilot the program in 3 districts of the FTZ, and in the second half of this year, we're going to spread the practice in other parts of the province so that we can ensure that the benefit of the reform covers all the market entities. And third, we're going to strengthen in the process and after process regulation. We're going to strengthen information sharing between different departments, optimize interdepartmental regulation and supervision so as to ensure that there is both reform and reform that is controlled and well practiced. And with China News Agency, we have taken note of the expansion of the program to the county and city level. And what are the specifics of this program? The assessment of business environment is a very gigantic, systematic effort. The provincial party committee and government attach great importance to this effort, and in 2019 we benchmarked to international standards, and we hired a third-party company to assess the business environment in different localities of Hubei. And we have identified the weak links of our business environment. From the documents of the measures on further improving the business environment of the province, you can find the details of the problems that we have identified. And this year, we have decided to spread the assessment of business environment to all the different localities, in particular the county and district level. And we do so mainly to transform the task package into a driver for the improvement of business environment, so that we can drive the improvement of business environment through assessment. And the Provincial Development and Reform Commission will further scale up this practice to Yichang and Huanggang. And at these two localities, we're going to launch a pilot program. And the pilot program will mainly be about the business environments of these two localities. And we're also going to spread the practice to the county level. In the next step, we're going to summarize our experiences, and the market-oriented assessment will be the key principle, and the satisfaction of enterprise will be valued to a greater extent. And in so doing, we're going to improve the overall satisfaction of the population on our business environment so that we can dramatically improve the business environment and create a sound atmosphere in the province. One last question, please. I'm with Yangtze River Commerce Daily. The major market supervision agencies of the province have introduced a smart approval for registration businesses. And can you give us more details on this? Thank you very much. Market supervision agencies aims at bringing everything forward and in advance. And in 2019, we were able to support cell phone-based entity setup, and you can basically set up a company from your cell phone. And this year, in Huanggang City, we have introduced a smart business entity setup system, and with just one ID and one cell phone, you will be able to start your own business, and the registration process can be supported and completed on a cell phone. And this year we are going to further benchmark with the advanced experiences of the world, so we can claim a highland in this aspect here within China. Number one, we're going to build a smart platform, and within this year we're going to spread this platform province-wide so that the enterprises and the individual business owners and farmers, and they can set up their companies and firms online. And number two, for some business-related matters, it can be handled on the smart devices, and most of the other businesses can also be supported and handled on your smart devices, and so this will deliver more convenience to a lot of people. And number three, we're going to spread electronic certificates in terms of social insurance and public reserve fund. For those items, in the future, they will be handled on smart devices, and with your WeChat or Alipay, you can claim a business license, and then you can handle the business on your cell phone. You don't need to go out of your doors and visit those government agencies. All right, thank you very much for your question.